Hey Corey, so you mentioned that you're interested in how brands are used in Writer for things like packaging, PDP, in-store POPs. So typically those are part of broader workflows, more end-to-end stuff like you're seeing here, where there's research planning phase that eventually creates a brief that creates the assets, compliance rules, branding, localization. Every company it looks different, and then of course, what does this look like from a performance perspective, and then turning this into a virtuous cycle. So I'm gonna zoom in for sake of this demo on more the content creative derivatives and creating that piece from a brief. And full transparency, I'm just using synthetic data. I let Writer kind of run loose around what a campaign could look like around Bauer's Vapor Highlight 2 launch. So without further ado, I'm skipping ahead. So let's just say that we've created a bunch of intelligence, and from that, we've got the brief that you're looking at here that Writer generated. So this is campaign brief, target audience, messaging pillars, retail partners, budget timelines, all in one document. And then from this, the idea is that we're going to create 263 content pieces across 12 channels and 27 visual mockups. But let me kind of show you what happens here. So you get a sense this is where the brief comes together, intelligence. And then we're going to plug this into another Writer built agent that's going to create all those assets I was just referring to. So you can see I created a presentation theme. We can do deck creation. So I had Writer research Bauer's branding, create a theme that you'll see later. Tells you exactly what it's going to do, which is what I just conveyed here. I upload the brief and I run it. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the output, starting with a detailed report of all the assets and the strategies. So I'm just gonna kind of take you through the exec summary here. Maybe let's just skip ahead to some of the stuff you would find interesting as far as all the assets that were created, the channel distribution. We'll get into these in a second. And then maybe a bit more specifically on some of the partnership strategy stuff. So all this is detailed here, but let's get into the things probably you're the most interested in as far as the actual mock-ups being produced. So starting with the packaging, here's the structured copy that it wrote, as well as the mock-up, front of box headlines, back of box, call-out features, text specs, all broken out by SKU for senior, as well as we have a youth one too. And this is what it looks like on the front, and kind of like I was referring to, all the underlying structured data for this as well, all included. And then for PDPs, it's generated titles, descriptions, meta copy, built all to character limericks, 60 characters for titles, 160 for meta descriptions. So this will all be ready, from a back end as far as the JSONs and structured data underneath to plug right into a retailer CMS. And obviously, I thought this is the part you'd find most interesting as far as a potential mock-up of a PDP layout for Canadian Tire specifically. Not saying that this is what the specs would look like or we want to do. This is, again, I'm just showing you the art of the possible here. And then kind of moving on, more of an in-store pop, end cap, shelf talker. We have that here, window banners, floor decals. Continue and move in. 24 by 36 end cap and shelf talker. All the copy structured so your team could hand it off directly to the print vendor or in-store marketing team as well. And then we've got some additional things, as I was mentioning there, structured data, the actual email campaigns as well, social ads to go with it, everything then structured within the JSON, like I'm mentioning, so that data layer is not an afterthought as far as all the work required there, reflective of what I'm showing you from the mock-up side of the house. Without going deep there, just want to show you something else that it generated, thinking more about that virtuous cycle I referred to earlier. So the ability to do interactive campaign dashboards, give you a bird's eye view of the whole campaign. And things typically don't end there. There's always executive decks to kind of report back on the launch as well. So just giving you a quick kind of flash of what that could look like. And all these things can be trained like for regional specificity, for brand specification, done in a repeatable, transparent way with Writer. So to summarize and kind of bring it back, one brief, several agents that can be stitched together into an end-to-end flow. Packaging, copy, PDP, content built to your retailer specs, in-store POP ready for production. This is just meant to give you a sense of what the workflow could look like as far as what great looks like with the customers leading the way with us right now. Every retailer operation is different. That's exactly why we'd love to get on a call with you and Ranjan, our VP of Retail, to kind of talk through how this maps back to your world, what you've tried before, and essentially, how we could lean in from an evaluation perspective and give you some signal on what this could look like with Writer as far as your top goals. Let me know if you're up for it. Talk soon.